does that win rank for you in your life?
Well, it's a great win because obviously you're on the road. You're down 10 points. Obviously you're fighting the elements in the environment. We have 4 interceptions. We lose pivotal players, and everybody just rallies. And no finger. It just says a lot about the guys, man. There's no turning back for this group right now. They're not turning back. You know, there's no finger pointing. They're too invested in each other and in what they've given and what they've sacrificed to turn back. And again, I told them all week we're gonna have to win this game by playing till there's 4 zeros. And man, that was right to the very end.
How about the job Dallas did?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even know if some of you realize that he blocked the punt, you know. But what an unbelievable effort. What did he end up with? 145. That's amazing. That's amazing. And a blocked punt, you know. And you know, what can you say about him? I mean, that's who he is. You know, he's a competitor. He's got moxie, you know, and you know, I'm proud of him. Happy for him too.
What was the locker room like at the half? I'm just curious with the emotions when things like that can seem to go one way or the other. Did anybody step up and say something?
No, they did, Heather. I mean, I didn't really have to say too much. They knew, like, we took a bunch of punches there. Just like we did in the first quarter of Georgia Tech. We took a bunch of punches, and obviously we had some guys down, and we just challenged the group to who was going to step up. You know, I don't know who it's going to be in the room, but they stepped up, and the defense finishing the drives that they finished. You know, again, you could talk about all the yards they made, but the defense was finishing drives and trying to keep them to field goals, and then obviously an interception, and that you know, that was the difference in the game. That helped us. It didn't get past. I don't think it got past 10, right, guys? Did it get the lead? Did it get past 10? So at any one of those times, it could have went, you know, to 14 or whatever, and it never did. So it was great.
Your starting quarterback throws 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Most teams, when their quarterback throws 4 interceptions, don't come away with one. What does it say about the character of your offense?
I mean, just about him to go back out there and face it. You know, we'll get him cleaned up. But you know, again, he's a superhuman being and a competitor. He was just trying to do too much, I think. You know, we'll look at him in the film, but just some throws that, you know, it's just not like him to do that. You know, scramble, you know, live to fight another day. You know, he knows that. So, but I'm not going to leave him here. I'm not going to leave him here. We're going to bring him back with us and get him ready for next week.
Were there any thoughts on that final drive, trying to get it overtime, or the whole way were you thinking?
No, on the road win. You know, we're already down a bunch of guys. No, we were trying to win, and I thought Stephen threw the ball well, and I thought we finished the drive really well.
Coach, this is your 3rd year at Miami, and you've seen the progression, the development of a lot of guys who maybe before you got here underachieved. What does that say as a testament to you and your staff?
Yeah, I don't really like to talk about. As soon as I respect the question, but as soon as I bite that, then it's my quote, and it really has nothing to do. It's just whether or not. There's a million ways to do something. It's just whether or not the guys are executing the culture that we espouse and that we believe in, you know, and that's the bottom line. And I think our guys are starting to understand that's what culture is. How do we, you know, out-execute our competition with the same amount of resources every day, 4 hours? How do we do that? And I think these guys understand that, you know, they bought into it. They bought into the nutrition. The conditioning obviously showed up. You know, they've made a lot of sacrifices. So rather than talk about the past, I would just say that these guys are buying into each other and what we're trying to execute.
Coach, you mentioned sometime last week you weren't surprised by Dallas. Can you talk about his conditioning, 33 carries, just stepping up for the moment?
Now, he's done a great job. He's done a great job with his weight. He's done a great job with his conditioning. And he finishes every play. And, you know, again, when we lost Randy, and then we lost KC, and then we lost Phillip, it just trickled all the way down. You know, then Dion got dinged, then Jenkins got dinged, and those are all the guys that do the special teams. So we're over there just scrambling because you lost a lot of the same types of players. You know, Dallas, Jenk, Casey Rogers, Bush, all those guys got nicked up. So we had to take Dallas off some special teams, and then he just, you know, he didn't surprise anybody. But again, I'm real proud of him and his conditioning.
And then similarly on that last drive, can you talk about OT?
Yeah, big. Yeah, I mean, you talk about pitch hitting in the ninth. That's what it was. I mean, he came in, he went in for Dallas on the kickoff coverage and did a great job. And then he I think it was pretty early in the drive too. I mean, it was the third or fourth play to drive. He comes in and gets a big one, 12 or 14 yards. So again, I'm proud of him. Everybody's got a role in this team. I know they all want more. I know they all want to start. I know they all, I mean, I get that. But when guys execute their role, you tilt the odds in your favor in terms of having success.
Al, what's a close win like that do for you guys?
Well, Susan, all I can say is, we've lost a bunch of those, and sometimes you lose those because you don't believe that you're going to win, or you start thinking about the outcome and you don't execute, or you really didn't pay the price, all year long, and you can't finish with the other team from a conditioning standpoint or a mental toughness standpoint. And none of that was the case in this game. And again, we're fortunate to win with 4 turnovers, and a lot of credit to North Carolina for causing those and creating those. But I'm real proud of my guys for the way they finished.
One more, we got Dallas again.
Before tonight, have you ever been involved in a game that had 159 plays?
I didn't know we had 159 plays until you just said it. So,
the 2 teams.
I don't. The interesting thing was that it was midway through the second quarter, and I asked for a play count, and we were in the 30s. So it really got. I mean, it got to be like baseline volleys there for a while. It was going back and forth, and even though we missed a field goal, we had an interception. We were driving the ball. We were driving the ball 70 or 80 yards, so we were getting plays. So I don't know if I've ever been involved in it. I didn't. Obviously we didn't want that. We didn't want Ebron to catch as many balls as he did. I mean, I can go on. If you guys have more time, we could talk. But just happy to get the win. Thanks, guys.